Hey everyone, welcome to another hashtag trending with me, your host Ali Reza. The coming winter may not be a particularly cozy time for many people in Europe, least of all in the UK, where the outgoing government of Prime Minister Boris Johnson just nearly doubled energy prices for households. The UK's energy bills are set to jump 80% to an average of £3,549 or $4,188 per year from October. That is according to regulator Ofgem, which describes the situation as a crisis. It is a rise that is significant even by the standards of a continent at war. While it has been Ukraine doing the actual fighting, Europe has been paying the bills. The UK in particular has been pretty generous with Ukraine, training its soldiers, offering it sophisticated weaponry, paying it cash. The British people, though, it seems, deserve less. And the British people aren't too happy about that. So let's check out some of the reactions on Twitter. Let's see what they've been talking about this energy crisis that has been sweeping Europe and the UK in particular. Brexit Buster tweeted, "Anyone else heartily fed up being lectured by arrogant Tory hypocrites who have never missed a meal or gone cold in their entire pampered, privileged lives, asking for millions of ordinary folk facing destitution this winter?" Ocean Jasper tweeted, "I'm currently in the USA and all news channels are using the UK as an example of how not to manage an economy, absolutely slating our inability to handle utility prices and inflation with no real PM at the wheel." She's of course referring to the resignation of Boris Johnson, which has resulted in him only acting as a caretaker prime minister. So our next tweet comes from Carol Adal. "Life's simple pleasures taken away. Sea swimming, polluted, eating, food banks, heating, energy crisis, healthcare, NHS crisis, driving, fuel crisis, holidays, cost of living crisis. I have never seen such a rapid decline in standards of living. Tories have done this to us." Felix has our next tweet. "Why haven't the energy companies been asked to rein in their profits, endure some pain to beat Putin?" People have been especially angry at the evocation by British officials of the war in Ukraine, blaming everything on the war and not taking any sort of accountability on themselves. Now, this next tweet is a tweet by Husey, which envisioned a conversation with the Tories, and it goes something like this. "Tories, do you know there's a war on? Us, yes, you lot against the ordinary, decent and hardworking people of this country." Moving on to a comment written on Press TV's website by Hani. "That's what happens when you disrupt the supply chain and wage foolish wars on Russia, Iran, China, Syria, etc. Can't blame the Europeans. They are mere chess pieces under the US's thumb, and the US has 28 plus pieces ready to sacrifice." Going back to Twitter, a tweet by Sarah reads, "I'm sorry, but I do think it's disgraceful that Boris Johnson has found it within himself to fly to Ukraine to receive an award, but he couldn't work with his colleagues or be present in government to tackle the energy and hashtag cost of living crisis." Now, over here we have a parody account of Liz Truss, and a tweet by her reads, "Energy bills will be 3 times higher this winter than they were last winter. Next winter, they will be 3 times higher again. Great success. The energy companies owe me for this one. Hashtag cost of living crisis." The political decision to fund Ukraine's war with Russia has far-reaching consequences for the entirety of Europe. By effectively putting themselves on an economic war footing, all European governments, not just the UK, are plunging their citizens into misery. Let's take a look at this chart shared by Holger Chaipitz. Europe is lurching into an energy crisis. German and French electricity prices keep climbing, hitting fresh records. Santiago Capital has our next tweet. "Apparently, the same leaders who led Europe into energy crisis, South America into perpetual currency crisis, Japan into decades of no growth, and China into a demographic nightmare are now going to solve Triffin's dilemma and their USD problems." Our next tweet comes from Ricardo Capelin. "The most stupid war in last centuries for Europe. European countries are going to spend 278 billions for the energy crisis, while the USA has increased by more than 50% its oil and gas exports and spent only 10.7 billions in Ukraine for arms, which subsidizes the military industry." And our final comment comes from Said Mohammad Marandi. "Iran is ready to help with the energy crisis. If the US provides Iran with a reasonable response, large quantities of Iranian oil as well as some Iranian natural gas can enter European markets within weeks. There isn't much time before winter hits Europe and North America." That's a wrap for another edition of Hashtag Trending. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and bye-bye.